Tina O here from Tina O Life, and this is Sanctuary Sunday. This is my Sanctuary Sunday post, and I'm sitting in a parking lot at BC Ferries in Nanaimo. I didn't catch the 3:20 boat, even though I was here, an hour and a half early, but I'm not complaining because I kind of expected it, right? And I didn't reserve because I didn't. I was actually combining all of my cash flow to pay for my kid to get to get to this hockey camp that he was going to. And I was like, yeah, I could pay the $17 for the reservation, or I could hold on to it and, put it towards him. So I think this Sanctuary Sunday is about just that. It's about the sanctuary of getting off of the mind trap of abundance versus scarcity thinking versus having enough versus not having enough versus, the games we're now playing around positive thinking. And I'm all for above the line thoughts versus below the line thoughts. I'm all for that. And I really, really understand that when we're in a place of a choice between the two, like a real choice between the two, when we have the impulse to choose of an above the line or below the line thought, that real impulse to choose positive versus negative, that the positive choice is the way to go. And the reason I say it like that is because the trap of labeling our feelings or our judgments is that we don't have a lot of sanctuary in that. There's not a lot of space in allowing whatever is happening to be there. And I totally respect that this is a very complex conversation. I respect that. I respect that when someone is having suicidal thoughts, when someone is in a 12-step program and they are up against do it or don't, right? I fully respect that when people are in a place of major change, transition, and they are holding on to a thought that will take them forward versus a thought that will take them backwards, potentially to a dangerous place. That the positive versus negative approach can make sense. So I am not dissing that at all. The piece I invite us to think about is the sanctuary of allowing, the sanctuary of being okay with not making a reservation, a $17 reservation to make sure I got on the 3:20 boat, blah, blah, blah. The sanctuary of saying it's okay for me to sit in my car for a few hours, read a book. It's not a justification of scarcity thinking to not pay the reservation fee, which sounds kind of funny. Like I could even sound like I'm trying to justify why I did or didn't pay the reservation fee. And that's not what I'm saying. I had an impulse to get on the boat that I wanted to get on, or get on the boat that I was supposed to be on. I had an impulse for that, an impulse to say, you know what, that $17 is actually better spent in my kids' lunches. That $17 is better spent, toward a new hockey stick. That $17 is better spent, whatever, right? And yet I know if I posted about not reserving or whatever, somebody somewhere would have said, well, that is scarcity thinking. That is holding on to that $17. And I totally respect that sometimes that could be what it is. In the space of Sanctuary Sunday, it's creating the space to follow the impulse as it moves through us without the judgment. To follow the impulse without having to measure if it's scarcity or abundant, if it's negative or positive, if it's moving us forward or moving us backwards, but simply to have one day in our week where we're allowed to be in a space that doesn't harm anybody else. And I notice the cost of our advancing, the cost of our constantly moving forward because possibility is in front of us. The cost of possibility on some of our psyches. Some of us measure on a daily, minute-by-minute basis, second-by-second basis, whether or not we are choosing positive or negative. That can't be good. It's a lot of effort. So on this Sanctuary Sunday, I invite you to take a look at, to notice how allowing lives in your life. How free do you feel in your measurement of yes, no, right, wrong, good, bad, positive, negative, abundant, scarce? Do you have a day in your life where just being is okay? Just okay. So I'm going to spend 3 more hours in my car. I'm going to read. That's good. It's actually what I needed. I'm Tina O from Tina O Life, and this is Sanctuary Sunday. See you next week.